My guest today is known as the OG of supplement reviews. A YouTuber with over 1,000 videos to his credit, he's had multiple viral video collaborations with Rich Piana, Kali Muscle, and Furious Pete, just to name a few. He's also an aspiring rapcore and metal artist, and if that wasn't enough, he's the owner of Spasmatic Supplements. If you've ever had the pleasure to view any of his comedy skits or other crazy antics on his channel, you know that he's a character. But don't let the fun and games fool you. As evident from his workout videos, he trains like a beast and he's all business in the gym. Given his energetic personality, you should probably strap in for this one because it could go off the rails at any moment. Please welcome Tim Muriello. Tim, welcome to the Dad Bod Podcast, brother. Good to have you on the show.
What is up, John? What is up, Dad Bod?
Yes, indeed, Dad Bod. Dude, Dad Bod is crazy. Just hit 23,000 members this last week.
For a Facebook group, that's freaking sick numbers.
And it's nuts because when I joined the group back in last May, I joined the group. They had 14,000 members.
Wow.
So we're not even.
You guys must be doing something right.
Yeah, they're definitely doing something right for sure. Definitely doing something right if we can get somebody like you on the podcast, man. I'll tell you what. I've been watching your videos on your YouTube channel, and dude, I got to tell you, it doesn't matter whether it's your workout videos, the comedy skits you do, the supplement reviews, all this stuff is top notch, man. Top notch. You do a great job, without a doubt.
Well, bro, I really, really appreciate that, man. I really do. I have a big belief system, man. If you're gonna do something, just do it right. You know, do it right. I always like to go above and beyond. You know what I mean, brother?
Absolutely. So now I picked up a lot of information from your bio and from stuff that I've seen here on your YouTube channel, but some of the stuff that I don't really know yet and I'd like our viewers to understand is how you actually got involved in the fitness industry in general.
That's a really great question, man, with a very long story. I don't know what got me into weightlifting and bodybuilding in general. I think that maybe the fact that it's an individual sport, when you play football, when you play soccer, you play baseball, everything's determined by your team, right? So if you're pulling your weight and the other guys aren't pulling their weight, what happens? You lose, right? Yep. Bodybuilding's so different, man. It's the fitness industry, it's so individualized, and I don't want to say it's a spiritual thing, but it's definitely an internal thing. You know what I mean? Like it's your journey, it's your path that you're taking. So I started bodybuilding when I was freaking 15 years old, and wow. I was already I already had so much size on me, bro, and I was already at such a good level, man, that I started competing at 16. So I've done 20 shows, but what got me into fitness, I don't know, maybe it was I had a terrible childhood and weightlifting was a way to channel that out, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know, bro, but there was something very mysterious about it with Arnold. I would read all the old Arnold books and the Franco Colombo books, and I don't know, bro, it just was just a mysterious thing. Jay Cutler, there's a bunch of other guys that are like, they don't even know how they got in fitness. It was just some weird thing that just resonated within themselves, that they're like, man, this is me. This is what I want to do. Right. And I haven't stopped since, man. Freaking 41 years old. I'll be 42 in July. And I have not stopped, bro. So, that's kind of my fitness, what got me into fitness. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so many people, for the guys out there, especially guys in the Dad Bod group, the regular guys that find their way into bodybuilding, and I'm sure you can attest to this. There are those of you, and I'm going to put you in that class because obviously you had some real good genetics. If you were able to put on that much size at that young of an age and be able to compete by 16, you obviously had some pretty good genetics to begin with. Genetics play a huge role in bodybuilding. I mean, can you take steroids and do the work and get big? Yeah, you can. But everything is going to be controlled to a degree by your genetics. Would you agree?
Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing, bro. I will dare tell you that I have trash genetics. I have very, very crappy genetics. Dude, when I started bodybuilding, everybody in the gym, when I was a teenager, 16, when I was 17, when I was 18, people probably thought I was nuts, bro. They probably thought I was nuts. They probably thought something was wrong with me, dude. I was obsessed, literally obsessed. I was obsessed with my diet, and I was obsessed with working out, packing on muscle, going to the gym, the whole entire bodybuilding thing. And I think that hard work, and I'm just being honest with you, man. I think that hard work and that just mental obsession, bro, helped me surpass those with genetics. But to answer your question directly, hell yeah, bro. I don't care, dude. Listen, I've seen dudes that don't they don't take any juice, they don't take anything, and their genetics make them look like they're freaking Mr. Olympia competitors. Genetics is everything, bro. You know, it's not even just genetics, it's genetics plus how well you respond to gear. So you could have great genetics, and then you could have guys like Phil Heath that have great genetics, and then they take a little bit of juice, and their body just responds way differently than someone like maybe me or you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I myself, I didn't find bodybuilder, even weightlifting seriously until I was already well into my weight loss and, health improvement journey. In 2013, I joined a gym. It was the first time I lifted weights since I was 16 years old, when I was a wrestler in high school. And, at that time, I was still probably 320, 330 pounds. Still was running about 30% body fat. And, I was 44 years old at that point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's like I was able to, through using a bodybuilding style diet and training as a bodybuilder, ultimately the goal was at some point to do a competition. And it still is. I mean, I'm 53 and, it's not too late for me yet. But it's like,
I agree, man.
Yeah.
I 100% agree, bro.
Yeah, but it's like finding it at that old of an age. A lot of guys probably would have considered taking steroids, and not that I have anything wrong with it. But I find, I fall along with the philosophy of like one of my favorite bodybuilders, Seth Feroce. He's like, bottom line is, dude, it's a personal choice. It's your life. It's your body. You do what the hell you want to. I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but it's personal choice. And it was just a personal choice for me that because of everything being centered around my health anyway, I have progressed without it. And since that time, I've been able to put on roughly between 25 and 30 pounds of muscle, which for somebody in their mid to late 40s was pretty good,
Dude.
So,
dude, I'll be honest with you, man. If you're in your 40s and you gain 5 pounds of muscle in your 40s,
yeah,
that's pretty good, man. Because most dudes in their 40s their testosterone's down the tubes, bro.
Right. Yep. Yeah, and that was the other thing. It's like I got my testosterone checked because when I hit 50, I was a little concerned. I was like, well, maybe I should have the testosterone checked because it is still a goal to eventually one day step on stage. And I had it checked, and it's like, well, it's it's not through the roof, but for somebody my age, it wasn't bad. It wasn't considered low. It wasn't even in a range where they would consider testosterone replacement therapy. So I'm like, okay,
Really?
well, yeah. I was like, I can live with that. That's a good thing.
John, you're a blessed man.
I'm something. I don't know exactly what yet, but I'm something. But talking along, But talking along these lines, we're talking about steroids and things of that nature. There seems to be kind of I won't say controversy, but there's a lot of mixed emotions and mixed feelings about natural bodybuilding versus, enhanced bodybuilding.
Okay.
There are some people that say that natural bodybuilding is on the rise. And then there are others that say it'll never be able to compete with the enhanced athletes, therefore it's never going to be as popular. So why don't you give me your take on that a little bit? What do you feel about that?
Now, are you talking about specifically competition wise?
Yes.
Or are you talking just in general? Or
I'm talking competition wise.
Competition wise.
Yep.
Bro, that's a loaded question. I have been pretty vocal about my disdain about natural bodybuilding, dude. I'll be honest. Natural bodybuilding is a scam. Natural bodybuilding competition is a scam, bro. Listen, I've done 20 bodybuilding shows. I've done all 20 natural. Okay, there's nothing natural about it, bro. There's the way you diet, okay, and you're almost emaciating your body into nothing. The way how if you don't have shredded glutes on a natural bodybuilding stage, dude, you're not going to go anywhere, dude.
Right.
To the top rank.
Mm-hmm.
The way they diet, the way they suffer, the again the tanning, the way they're living their life to get so shredded. Because natural bodybuilding, listen, man, I've been a natural bodybuilding judge, right? I've judged natural bodybuilding,
Right.
and I've had promoters tell me, we don't want size, we don't care about size, we want cuts because anybody can get shredded, not everyone can get huge.
Right.
I don't believe that because some people are naturally freaking just lean, right?
Right.
They're just
Yep.
naturally just shredded.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I have seen natural bodybuilders that there's no way they were freaking natural. I've been to natural bodybuilding shows, dude, where if you had a prescription from your doctor, listen, they would let you compete if you had a prescription for TRT, dude. That's not freaking natural.
No.
I know this dude, he was on growth hormone and testosterone and he got an NGA Pro card on testosterone and human growth hormone just because he had
Wow.
a prescription. Dude, I see it all the time, bro. Dude, John, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
These promoters don't make a lot of money, right? These natural bodybuilding promoters don't make a lot of money. Why? Number one, the venue is very expensive,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's
Yep.
not a lot of people that want to compete anymore. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of people, especially natural, right?
Right.
So if it costs them $200 just to turn that piss in, do you think they're turning everybody's freaking piss in, dude?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would
No.
be, it doesn't seem like it would be a very, very lucrative proposition. But see, now I will say that and I know this firsthand. I recently got involved with, here, I live here in West Virginia, and, I got asked to be the official nutritionist for the OCB Mountain State Classic. Of course, if you're familiar with OCB, I'm sure it is an all natural bodybuilding organization. They literally polygraph and piss test everybody, and they actually make I may be wrong, but from what I understand, the competitors actually have to pay for the testing. Okay, so
Yeah,
that way everybody,
smart.
yeah, that way everybody, everybody has to submit a test. That way it's not on the promoter, and they're actually promoting an all natural bodybuilding competition. And they've actually, they got me involved because they're starting a body transformation division in the Mountain State Classic this year. And they wanted me to help all of the people that are going through their transformations with, drastic weight loss and things of that nature. They wanted me to help coach them because nutrition is my wheelhouse. That's kind of like my specialty. So I do know that there are organizations out there that really.
I was going to say, you've proven yourself to be in that position, man, having lost all that weight and in such great shape now. It's freaking amazing, bro.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's like that. Well, that was kind of the thing. The promoter found my story online, and she started talking to me. We met up, and then she's like, okay. And now I'm trying to help her promote this. And it seems to be, an actual all natural competition where they're really making people toe the line. And I think that's good. I don't know about you. I think there's a place for natural bodybuilding because the art of bodybuilding itself, outside of the drugs, outside of the steroids, outside of the money and everything else, the art of bodybuilding itself and putting in that work is extremely beneficial for the body. I mean, there are very few things that are as beneficial for your metabolism and for longevity and whatnot as weight training is, especially if it's done right. So,
yeah, John, I'll tell you what, man. I think this is a good subject to talk about, right? It's a very good subject to talk about. I've actually judged OCB, so I judged OCB in OCB show in I think Sanford, Florida.
Okay.
And dude, listen, the promoter comes to me, and that's actually the story I was talking about, is where she's like, this OCB, we prefer We prefer conditioning over size. And we're, because, anyone can get huge and not everyone can get huge and anybody can get shredded. And so, listen, man, I've been a judge, and not to totally disagree with you, but you're saying it's very healthy for you. I don't agree with that. I don't agree natural bodybuilding is healthy for you at all, brother. The way natural bodybuilding wants these competitors right now, it wreaks havoc on your system. You can have extreme because listen, to get that shredded. Here's a problem with natural bodybuilding, all right? Besides the drug testing, all this bullcrap, the prescription, right? They want you so freaking shredded. Now, in order for you to be that shredded, we're not talking about beach body lean, okay? Right. We're talking about shredded glutes, striations all over your body. In order to accomplish that naturally, okay, you have to do the most unnatural, unhealthy things to your body. We're talking 6 months of dieting. You to the point where you can almost develop a mental illness. You're putting your job on the line, your relationships on the line, your livelihood on the line. You're messing up your metabolism. You're wreaking havoc on your testosterone, your estrogen. Your cortisol levels are through the roof because of the dieting, the cardio, tons of stimulants. So there's nothing natural about it to me. You know what I mean? However, yes, I do agree, John, that there is a place for natural bodybuilding because you can't compete in a show that's not natural without being on something.
Oh, yeah.
Because back in the day, okay, so I started competing in the 90s, bro, the 90s. If you were 230 pounds or 240 pounds back in the day in the 90s, you were a monster. Right. Okay. Everyone, oh my gosh, 240 freaking pounds. Holy crap. Now fast forward to 2020, dude, these dudes, they're not even qualifying shows. They're not national qualifiers. They're local rinky-dink shows. All these dudes are freaking 240. They're 5'8", 240. And if you do a show that's non-drug tested, okay, and you're not on drugs, or you've elected to not be on anything, you're gonna get smoked. There's no way. And that circles back around to your initial question. You cannot compete naturally against somebody with insane genetics and someone who's on drugs. There's no way to do it, bro.
Yeah,
no way to do it.
You're absolutely right. And let me just, because I realized after you got to talking there that you may have misunderstood and it was probably the way I said it. I will say that the art of bodybuilding, in as much as having the mindset and getting in the gym and lifting the weights, is healthy for you. Doing bodybuilding to the extremes of doing a competition, because as you said, there's so many things that get manipulated. Your water weight gets manipulated, all these different things. It is insane, and it is a process that will definitely put you through the ringer without a doubt. But I totally believe, I mean, as a personal trainer and nutritionist myself, I deal with so many people that they're like, well, I don't know, but women especially, I don't want to lift weights. I don't think I need to lift weights. I don't need to do any resistance training. It's one of the best things that you can do for your health.
Oh, yeah,
hands down. So, and that's really what I was getting at. But you're right, and I'm glad that we kind of went down that, because that is something for anybody that is watching this, that is considering doing a natural show. These are all things that you need to realize. And if you are, I agree 100%. If you are a bodybuilder and you want to compete and you have elected not to take drugs, you might as well be pissing up a rope if you go to a show that's not natural, because that's like taking a chuck steak and putting it next to a big old London broil. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to look right. Not at all.
That's the old adage, bro. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight, bro.
Yep,
and
exactly.
you will just get, in this day of competing, you will get absolutely smoked. And you're not just competing against drugs anymore, bro, and genetics. You're competing against corruption, dude. Bodybuilding is the most corrupt freaking sport out there, dude. It's I've seen things that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah, man, pretty bad. You know, one of the things that they do now, all right, so everyone's a bodybuilding coach, John, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's a bodybuilding coach,
Right,
right?
right. Yep.
Now these dudes, they have never even done a show, but
Mhm.
they're all of a sudden a bodybuilding coach,
Right.
right? So you pay them all this money, right? And they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, send me your progress pics, and you're gonna eat this, that, this, and another," right? Uh, but they've never won a show. I don't think you should be a bodybuilding coach unless you have done at least one bodybuilding show.
Right.
Unless you know what it's what you know. It's like John. It's like this, brother. You know when you become a police officer, right, or in the
Mhm.
military, and you want to use taser, right? You become taser certified. What do they do?
They taser
They
the
tase.
shit out of you.
Yeah, they tase the crap out of you, so you know what the freak it's like. So, anyway,
Absolutely.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. You know, so these coaches, they'll have like 10 or they could even have 15 different local girls, guys, whatever, that they're all coaching, and they have these teams, right? So
Mhm.
they go to the bodybuilding show and they talk to the promoter and they say, listen, I'm going to have 15 of my athletes that I'm coaching go into your show. That's 15 competitors, all their family, all their friends. I'm bringing you revenue and I'm bringing you some money into your show, right? I
Mhm.
was at a show once. This is what they do, man. I was at a show once. My buddy he was about 265, shredded, huge, super
Gotcha.
heavyweight. And this dude had this big team there with all these freaking competitors. His guy was a bantamweight, right? In the overall. And he went to the promoter and he said, listen, if my dude does not win this overall, I will never bring all my athletes and their families back to this show. And who do
Mhm.
you think won? The
Oh, yeah.
bantamweight.
Yep.
And everybody was so freaking, they were screaming an uproar, cursing, like they were pretty pissed off, dude, because it was
Yeah.
obvious. You know what I mean?
But it's like that. It's not just bodybuilding, Tim. You know, I mean, it's like that in almost anything. When there's money involved,
Yeah.
when there's literal skin in the game, as they call it, you're gonna have
Yeah.
bullshit like that. I mean,
Boxing, that's for sure.
I have yet to compete in a bodybuilding competition, but when I was younger, I was an avid billiards player. I shot pool, and I was a good player. And where I live in West Virginia, pool leagues are extremely big. Well, there were a number of pool leagues that were nationally sanctioned, and those things you didn't make any money. It was all about the fun and everybody getting together, and everything was handicapped, and you had a good time. But every now and then, you'd have guys put together these money leagues, and they would be leagues, and they'd have their rules structured under certain bylaws of this organization or that organization, but there was money on the line. As soon as you put
Oh
money
yeah.
on the line, there was no more fun to be had. There was people fighting and all kinds of stupid shit, and people doing everything they could to try to cheat to win. They were lowballing and sandbagging players and all kinds of shit.
Oh
So
yeah.
anytime
It's
you put
nasty.
money on the line, I don't care what it is, you're gonna get a fight. It's just that simple. You're
Yeah,
gonna get a fight.
exactly, bro.
So
Exactly, exactly.
and I think that plays a part in the natural bodybuilding world. Obviously, the unnatural bodybuilding is huge money. It's crazy money.
Yeah, dude,
You know,
it's not even a sport, bro. It's
no,
who has the biggest sponsor and who's willing to take the most drugs. That's what
yeah,
that is, dude.
yeah, yep. But here's the thing that gets me, and I actually heard Seth Feroci talking about this on his podcast. In case you can't tell, I watch a lot of the Seth Feroci stuff. You guys kind of remind me of each other because y'all just don't pull any punches. You get right out there and you talk about things the way they are. But he was talking about why he doesn't compete anymore, and he's like, dude, do you see what Mr. Olympia brings home from the competition that he puts himself through all year long? Now, granted, he make money off of sponsorships and doing that and the other, but what the athletes wind up bringing home for what they put themselves through isn't worth it. But
Oh yeah,
all those big supplement companies and the fitness companies and all that, they're the ones that make the money.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. I have a buddy that he competes. He competed at a national level.
Hmm.
And he said whenever he competes in a national show, right? Nationals like the USA's, whatever,
Right.
he spends about $6,000. $6,000, bro, on drugs, freaking food. That's a lot. And
Wow.
he's not even a pro. So you could just imagine what these pros are spending, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've talked to Olympia competitors before, and I've heard dude, the Olympia is like definitely shady.
Yeah. Yep.
Some of
I
it
hear you.
shady, you know?
Um, what would you say is the big difference in the bodybuilding world now, as far as like the Olympia and all of the money machine behind it? What would you say the difference is between now and like back in the days of Schwarzenegger and guys like that, Ferrigno?
Yeah, it's a good question, man. I think that I mean, there's a world of difference, bro. You know, the listen, wait about 10 more years, and we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see what will happen with these bodybuilders' bodies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My prediction is you're gonna see a lot more dudes dropping dead
Yeah.
because money's involved, bro. And you know, this sport, the to answer your question, literally on the dot, hammer on the nail. You know, it's all ethics. You know,
Right.
no one's ethical anymore, bro. Everyone's
Mm-hmm.
no scruples, bro. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and what they're willing to take these days to get to the top, bro. It's I mean, you've seen look at some of these guys, man. These big bodybuilders dropping dead, man. You know, they're taking stuff that you just have no clue what's going to happen 10 years from now. You know, I heard they have this new drug, and it's one they use in the Middle East before they get on stage, and it's a shot. It's a very temporary thing. So it's used originally for when heart doctors, cardiologists will operate on babies. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously a baby has a very small heart, and you know it's a very intricate system. And in order to maximize safety, maximize the successful surgery, they
Mm-hmm.
will inject this fluid or this medicine, if you will, into the heart to enlarge the heart, right? You know, so it's not so tiny. It's the heart's blown
Wow.
up, and they can just operate on things better. So these
Mm-hmm.
guys over in the Middle East, before they get on stage, what do you think they do? They inject that crap in their chest, their triceps, and it's blowing the muscle up.
Wow. Wow.
You know,
So
and you got
it's
guys
like
on stage
it's like a
that,
temporary synthol then.
yeah, dude, it's exactly what it is, bro. Like, and the
Holy
insulin and
shit.
listen, man, I ain't about that life, dude. I'm not
No.
about that life at all.
No.
Listen, John, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm trying to keep my hair, okay? I'm not, I'm not,
Not me, man.
you
No,
know what I mean?
mine's gone. Mine's gone, but that's okay.
Listen, but you, all right, that's okay. But listen, I'm trying to keep my hair, bro.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to lose a ball,
Yeah.
okay? I'm trying to keep
Hmm.
both of my balls,
Hmm.
okay? I don't want to be 50 years old and I can't freaking get an erection, bro. I'm not about that life. So
No.
these
Yep.
dudes, man, they've they've gone beyond, bro.
Hmm.
All reasonable thinking, dude, to get where they need to be today, and I'm just not about that. And that's a big
Yeah.
difference, man.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe that what they get out of it. I mean, I guess if I guess you almost have to be a little bit narcissistic, of course, because you have to be extremely
Yeah,
focused on yourself. But I mean, I
yeah,
can't imagine that what they get out of it. I mean, even if that Mr. Olympia, all right, let's Phil Heath, for example, for what he's getting out of it and the life he's living now, what's that going to mean 10 years from now? Yeah,
yeah,
Look at Ronnie Coleman, dude. Now, for all intents and purposes, that man, you know, people want to put the monikers of the baddest man on the planet. He got to be one of them with the way that he
yeah,
trained. And then since he's retired and yet he's still trained and all these surgeries that he's had, and he has these damn surgeries, and you see him 60 days later and he's back in the gym training again, that's a bad son of a bitch. I don't care what you say,
yeah.
you know? But look at the quality of his life.
Very true, man.
You know, look at the quality of his life and being 8-time Mr. Olympia and everything that he's done, he lives every day of his life in pain, dude. every day.
Yeah.
And to
John,
me, that wouldn't be worth it. Just wouldn't
dude,
be.
listen, that ain't worth it, man. That ain't worth it. Again, we're talking about extreme measures. I'm a fan of Ronnie.
Oh yeah.
Do I think he took some pretty extreme measures? Again, going well out there,
Mm-hmm.
far left field,
Yeah.
into a world that I don't think a human should go into for success. I mean, I think he did. I mean, he just took it too far, and I won't go into details. I don't want to talk bad about him, but yeah,
Oh
I mean,
no.
he took it to the next level, dude. He did what he wanted to do. Here's the thing, John. You're saying, is it worth it? Okay. What else are these guys going to do? Are they going? Where they? What? Here's the driving factor. Okay. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
driving factor. Okay. What are they going to do, bro? Are they going to work at Taco Bell? Are they going to? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being
Right.
honest. A
Right.
lot of them, they don't have an education.
Mm-hmm.
They're stuck, bro. In either
Right.
they're either going to be a personal trainer, and
Mm-hmm.
you're going to wake up extra early and manage your clients, and you're going to go home for a couple hours, then come back at nighttime. You have then you're working all nights and weekends. That's their only option. So career-wise, I think one of the biggest reasons why they do this and they continue to do it and they push the limit and they're willing to accept extremely drastic measures is because they don't want to have to go to work.
Right.
It's nice to be able to wake up,
Yeah.
not have to go to a job, not have to answer to a boss, and your life is literally eating and training. Dude, of course, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I would love if I could make a good living doing that. Yeah, it's a dream. Wouldn't that be a dream for you, bro?
Yeah.
If
Well.
someone handed you 6 figures a year and all you did was just train and eat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I get it from that aspect. I mean, I can actually relate. My background up until a year ago, I've been one of those guys. I was out there busting my ass, working hard all my life, making other people rich. Doing things for other people. That's what it is. My last job, I was a machine operator in a factory. Okay, that's what I
Wow.
did, and I worked anywhere between 12 and 18-hour days. And it was 5-6 days a week. I did what I needed to do to make the money for my family. And well, I wouldn't have worked that much, but the company that I worked for was like, we have production, it has to be done. But anyway, now I'm in a position because of actually a misfortune that happened to me that I wound up having to have a total knee replacement back in December.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Yeah.
hear
So
that, bro.
well, oh no, it's better than it's been in 20 years. I was in an accident back in the 80s and I had to have ligament reconstruction surgery. Well, as most people know, anytime they get into a joint, as time goes on, you'll develop arthritis in there. Well, what happened was the arthritis just shredded all the cartilage. So I was bone on bone in that knee for quite a long time. And it got to the point where it was excruciating with the pain. So I spent like 8.5 months last year, literally pretty much inactive, couldn't do anything else. So that's when I got involved with the Dad Bod Transformation. I started to build my business, T2 Nutrition and Wellness, and I've transitioned into working for myself now. And even though I still work 20-hour days, I'm doing stuff that I love. I'm helping people get healthy. I'm helping people get fit. I'm helping people beat type 2 diabetes and things of that nature. And for me, that's fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's the same way with these bodybuilders. If what they're doing is fulfilling them, if it's making them happy, and like the example that you just laid out, all they got to do is train and eat. I guess there are worse things that you could do, but I just look at the long-term effects and what your life's going to be like 10, 15, 20 years from now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm building a business that my wife is 13 years younger than me. So I'm building a business that when I'm gone, it'll still be around to take care of her. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I don't know if some of these guys are going to have that same option 10, 15, 20 years from now.
All good points, bro. All good points. Listen, man. I live in Tampa, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a job in Tampa, you're stuck. Here's your day, okay? It's going to take you an hour to get ready, right? You're going to wake up, you're going to shave, you're going to eat your breakfast, you're going to take a shower, get dressed, right? 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to spend an hour in traffic. Then
Right.
you're going to work 8 hours a day, you know, making somebody else rich. Then it's going to take you an hour to get home. And then it's going to take you about an hour just to detox, you know, take your work clothes off, kind of get your mind right, blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah. So,
Yep.
you know, yeah, dude. Oh, no one wants that. We
Mm-mm.
all have to do it. You know, at least a lot of us. We all have to do that, right? So a lot of these bodybuilders, man, they're so content. They're doing what they want to do. I don't. I don't. It's a wonderful way of life, but you pay to play, bro.
Yeah.
If only way for you to live that type of life is to take all these freaking drugs,
Mm-hmm.
pay to play, bro. We'll see what happens in 10 years, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. So now let me ask you, because I've heard, in a couple different videos and whatnot, I've heard you coin, I don't know if you coined the phrase, but I've heard you use the term the sheeple of the fitness industry. Can you elaborate on a little bit that for me? I have an idea of what it is that you're talking about when you use that, but I'd really like you to let our viewers know what you mean by that.
Yeah, man. Listen, sheeple is, it's more of a political term, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it applies in all aspects of life. Okay, sheeple of the fitness industry is basically people that they're just following their favorite bodybuilder without doing all the education. It's like there's still people out there that think, I don't want to say names, but there's still people out there that think, oh, these YouTubers and these popular bodybuilders are still natural. You know what I mean? Like, when me and you and most every other human's like, dude, I'm sorry to break it to you, bro, but there's no freaking way that person's natural. But these sheeple, think of a sheep, bro. They're mindless. They just follow, bro. They just literally follow. They don't know, and it's kind of the same mentality, bro. It's like they're not fact finding. They're not doing their intelligence. They're not gathering all the right data to make what would be a right, proper, correct, and educated decision, right?
Right.
So that's a sheeple in the fitness industry. They're buying products that are trash, but their favorite bodybuilder takes them, and and this supplement, it helped them gain 20 pounds in 6 weeks. Of course it worked. Look at him. He's all natural, and if it worked for him, it'll work for me. That's what a sheeple is, bro. It's somebody who mindlessly follows somebody without the education and fact finding. Simply put.
Yep. And that's society. And it's not just it's not just it's not just in the fitness industry either. It's everywhere. I mean, you can look at all the people and all the hubbub and bullshit about politics and this and that and the other. Yeah. It's all the same thing. One person will go out there and they'll say, well, this is the best way, you need to do this, and that person will have some sort of notoriety in some way, shape, or form. And then everybody's like, well, that's what this person said, so that's what we need to be doing. And one of the biggest places that it falls into play is in nutrition, man, in dieting.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'll tell you, if I had a nickel for every time I get a message throughout the day saying, what do you think about so-and-so's new diet? I think it's horse shit. I think it's horse shit. I think what you need I think what you need to do is you need to identify what your goals are, whether you're trying to put on size, whether you're trying to lose weight. You need to identify what your caloric baseline is. If you're trying to lose weight, subtract 300 to 500 calories. If you're trying to put on size, add the 300 to 500 calories. And then eat the foods that work best for you. Plain and simple. Dieting. Exactly. Yeah. Dieting is not rocket science. I got attacked in the dad bod group here about a week ago. Somebody posted something about they were asking if anybody else in the group did the snake diet. You familiar with the snake diet? Have you heard of that at all?
No,
dude,
man.
What it is, they drink this damn. It's pretty much fasting. It's pretty much fasting combined with one meal a day. But it's like whenever you're fasting, you're drinking this slop, this juice that's made. It's like an electrolyte mixture and it has some other things thrown in there with it. But it's like that's the diet. It's like you eat a certain amount at a certain point of the time, and the rest of the time you're drinking this snake juice. Now, here's the thing. If you're restricting your calories, I don't give a shit what diet you call it. If you're restricting your calories, you're going to lose weight. That's just how it works. The only difference is, are you going to lose fat? Are you going to lose muscle? Or are you going to lose both?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But there's a difference between fat loss and weight loss.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is key. That is key. And most people do not get it. That's why I tell people all the time. I had a client the other day. I think I worked out his total daily energy expenditure at like 4,000 calories because he's a big guy. He trains 5 days a week. He still has some body fat that he has to lose, but that's still mass, and you have to account for that, right?
Yeah.
And this guy, he's like, what do you mean that's my baseline? He's like, I'm only eating 1,700 calories a day. And I said, then you wonder why you're not losing weight.
Yeah,
your metabolism's slowing down. You're not holding on to muscle, so you're losing strength. All of these things are happening because you don't understand that how the whole dieting process works, and that's where we get into. Yeah. I agree. It fits right in with your sheeple philosophy. People are like, "This is the next amazing diet," and everybody jumps on that wagon, and then the next thing you know, it's crazy.
It's they believe anything someone tells them, dude.
Yep.
It happens in relation to supplements, diet fads, $1,000 goose eggs. I've heard about that.
Right.
But, bro, at one point you almost have to be a little thankful for people like that because they buy supplements. They kind of keep the economy going a little bit.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't know, bro. I have a video on YouTube. It's on my channel, Tim Muriello, and I think it's called 10 Signs you're a sheeple in bodybuilding or something like that.
Snowflake. It's Snowflake. 10 signs you're a snowflake. I just watched that this morning. Yep, I just watched that this morning.
I think I got about bodybuilding sheeple and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, people like that, they order supplements. They order supplements because they believe the hype, they believe the label claims, and you got these big bodybuilders. This thing put on 10 pounds of muscle in 6 weeks, and take these duck eggs. That's what it was.
Yeah, duck eggs.
Take this, take that, or this movie comes out about veganism. Oh my God! Like, you gotta understand, bro. That's a whole nother conversation. But
oh yeah.
Here's the thing about sheeple, right? To piggyback on what we're talking about here, they're only listening to one side of the story.
Yep.
You can't listen to one side of the story, dude. You got to listen to both sides of the story. And you can get talked into all kinds of bull crap, dude. All kinds of freaking bull crap, dude.
Yeah, it's amazing. And now
we can talk about veganism here if you want.
Oh no, maybe we'll do.
Brother.
Maybe we'll do that on the Jacked Up podcast. I'll have you come on my podcast on T2 Nutrition and Wellness. We'll talk about veganism there. Because I've done an episode on extreme weight loss with a guy named Mike Gorman. They call him Gormy. He lost like 300 pounds, not once but twice. He lost it, gained it back, and lost it again. He's got a truly amazing story. He's a great guy. My first episode was with a guy who used to be one of the resident coaches in the Dad Bod group. His name's Jerome Armstrong. They call him the muscle philosopher. And we had a really at-length conversation about the carnivore. So yeah, I mean, we could definitely get together and do one on the whole vegan diet and all that stuff. But I want to touch on something else right now, because it's something that, you've been doing for a while. I know I'm just getting involved in the supplement game myself. How have supplements in and of themselves, because supplements originally, I think were they were a good idea, and a lot of the companies, had some good concepts behind them and whatnot, but things look like they've kind of fallen off to the wayside a little bit. So what is your opinion on the current state of the supplement world at this point in time?
You know, we're screwed. We're screwed, bro. We're screwed, dude. I've been taking now. Again, I'm not tooting my own horn. I've been taking supplements since I was 15, bro.
Right.
15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40. I'm almost 42 years old, dude. I've never stopped bodybuilding. I've never stopped taking supplements. Okay,
Right.
this is the worst I've ever seen this industry. The freaking worst. There's a couple things going on right now. All right. Number one, private labeling is at an all-time high, and
Right.
what that means is someone could start a supplement company with $1,000 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being honestly truthful with you. They
Right.
could come out with some trash proprietary blend,
Mm-hmm.
contact a contract manufacturer with very low minimum order quantities, and literally come out with a supplement company with $1,000.
Right.
So guess what's happening, John? Everyone's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's doing it. And the manufacturers, they're advertising very heavily, private labeling, white labeling. Come out with your own supplement line, low minimum order quantities. And so what's going on is everybody's got a freaking supplement these days, bro.
Right.
There's probably a new supplement line. There's probably 10 a week coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's another thing. There's a reason why it's only $1,000. Okay, there's a reason why it's so cheap to start these supplement lines, is because most of them are proprietary blends. They're just freaking. You're really just getting caffeine, bro, and you're just getting fairy dust of everything else. But you know, because the caffeine's so high, you're like, oh my gosh, this stuff's amazing. It's incredible. But you're really not knowing what you're getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. Here's a huge component of what's going on wrong in the supplement industry right now, is the ingredients are getting very, 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 very expensive. That's why everyone's going to a proprietary blend more than ever before, because the ingredients they're crazy, especially right now with the coronavirus going on right now.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's certain ingredients you can't get in China right now. And so the cost of manufacturing is so freaking high.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, bro. The good quality supplements are becoming they're becoming so hard to find these days.
Right.
And that's why you're seeing either proprietary blends or pre-workouts now are 20 servings. John, would you pay $50 freaking for a 20 serving pre-workout?
No,
bro, they're everywhere. I don't know when this became the norm, dude. It's 20 servings. It's still underdosed, and it's $50.
Yep.
Because to market supplements these days is very freaking expensive. You're paying like $2 a day quick. The ingredients are super freaking expensive. So bottom line, bro, the supplements these days are trash.
Yeah.
Trash. Here's another problem, bro. The stores. See, I'm listen, I own Spasmodic Supplements.
Yes.
I've been known on the industry for 8 years. I'm not product dumping. I'm not promoting myself right now. I'm making a very descriptive explanation here.
Sure.
My products are all super, super high quality. And sadly, that's not what works in this industry to be successful. No. I know it sounds insane. That sounds insane. You might be like, Tim, what are you talking about? It's high quality. Surely high quality sells itself. No, bro. High quality supplements are extremely freaking expensive.
Yep.
And that means that I don't make as much money. That means I don't have as much money for marketing. Right. I don't have as much money for athletes. And when I call these stores up, you would think, John, it's something super easy, right? Hey, store, look at my supplement facts. You would think, John, they'd be going, holy crap, 30 servings. You got so much of this and so much, like, wow. What's your price? Well, it's X amount of dollars. What? Why would I buy your product when I can buy this ridiculously dirty freaking supplement for half the price?
Yeah.
And so high quality products like mine don't do very well, bro. They don't.
Yeah. I gotta admit,
because they don't give a shit how high quality your products are. It's all about how much money are they making, how can they stay alive against online stores.
Right. Yep. And that's the thing. You've got online competitiveness first and foremost. Okay. You've got that aspect. You have companies out there, unlike yourself, that are trying to make the biggest profit margins they can. So they use the cheapest friggin' ingredients they can find.
Yeah.
They add in a bunch of fillers and things of that nature. I mean, long before I mean, you know, full disclosure, I just recently got into the supplement business. I only have one product. I sell exogenous ketones, beta hydroxybutyrate, for people that either are on the ketogenic diet, or you can also get benefits from it, you know, for like focus and studying, and it'll give you energy regardless, because your body is designed to burn it.
On a keto diet. Yeah, you don't even have to be on a keto diet to get benefits from those. No, I'm a believer. I think they work, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I would rather see college kids taking exogenous ketones than I would having them see them, you know, popping Adderall left and right, which is the norm nowadays, you know. But anyway, so, you know, you've got all these companies that are just like putting their fillers together and cutting down the amount of money they have to put in making the product so their profit margin can be higher. Long before I got into the supplement game, I was making my own pre-workout. And the reason being was most of the pre-workouts that I found, and I won't name names, but, you know, it's just like they had so much fillers and crap in them. And at the end of the day, I would use them for a month or two and my body would get used to it. And then that 20 servings would turn into 10 because I'd have to take 2 scoops of it instead of 1.
Exactly.
So I just started buying the individual ingredients that I found work best for me, and I would make my own. But even that isn't sustainable. You know, it's a pain in the ass to have to mix that stuff up all the time. It's a whole lot easier to just take a scoop, take 2 scoops. Roll it, you know, because it's like I had to have flavoring because I would dump the stuff in water, and if I didn't have the right amount of flavoring, it tasted like shit. There's a lot that goes into making supplements, but making quality supplements is what's important, and that's why people, you know, for all the viewers out there, do your due diligence, do a little research, and actually read the ingredients. Do a little research and find out what ingredients are going into your products and what those ingredients actually do. And once you start doing stuff like that, you're going to realize that supplement companies like Tim's, and there are others out there. It's not that the entire supplement company is a bunch of crooks, but I'm not going to say the majority of them aren't. Okay. But there are some good ones out there, and just do your due diligence and make sure that you're getting quality products, man. Plain and simple.
I agree, man. I agree, bro. 100%. Yeah.
Because, you know, going back to what we were talking about earlier, if you're gonna try to do any kind of bodybuilding on a natural level, supplements are gonna be key. You can't take drugs, so you're gonna have to take some supplements. You know.
Yeah, man. You know, here's another thing, if I may interject this real quick.
By all means.
So a lot of ingredients you're seeing right now are trademarked, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's almost an industry scam. Okay, mm-hmm. You can say anything's trademarked. Okay, right. It doesn't mean it works. Just because it's got a trademark does not mean it works.
Right.
There's a couple ingredients I can name right now. I will not, because I don't want to get sued or something weird.
Right.
And maybe I wouldn't be sued, but just to be on the safe side, there's a couple trademarked ingredients right now. I can tell you right now, brother, they don't work. There's 2 right now. There's a company suing the makers of these trademarks because they're literally coming out with these trademark ingredients every week, bro. And, you know, it's brand new, little to no science, paid studies and research. It's all biased bullcrap, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's one now, it's basically green tea leaves, but you see, it all goes back to the sheeple mentality, bro. Mm-hmm. You know, you got these supplement reviewers out there right now that they're all paid, right? They're all paid. All these dudes reviewing supplements right now, they're all paid, bro. They're getting free product, they're getting money, and you hardly ever hear them say anything bad about supplements. Right? Why? Because they're getting paid. Yeah. And so you're hearing all this bullcrap from the supplement media. Oh, this trademark ingredient's amazing, and this product's amazing, and this bodybuilder takes it. And of course, you know, you're brainwashed.
Yeah.
And the
Yep.
fact remains is you're just getting sold a bunch of bull crap, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
You're,
getting 20 servings for $50. It's just ridiculous,
you're
dude.
making some expensive piss, is what you're doing. That's what you're doing in a
That's
nutshell.
exactly what you're making. It's
You are
fake
treating
protein.
your toilet bowl to the most expensive piss possible.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what it is, bro. And people just believe the hype, man. People will come after me. They'll say, "Why do you not have beta alanine in your product?" Oh, that makes no sense. Why do you not have? I don't like your stuff because there's no beta alanine. And beta alanine, bro. This will ruffle feathers, dude. Beta alanine, I would say, almost doesn't work. I know, but see, but you've been fed. Everybody's been fed that
Mhm.
beta alanine works, right? It doesn't really work, bro. If you do the research, you do the science, and you just get out of that sheeple mentality and take it upon yourself to do the research, you have to take 6.4 grams of beta alanine. You have to load on it like creatine. You have to take it 6.4 grams every freaking day for about 30 solid days without skipping a day. And then you're going to get about a 1 to 2% increase in performance. And that performance, those benefits and performance aren't even related really to weightlifting. It's more towards running, and you know what I mean? So that's why I want to put it in there. And it's a distraction. You're itching, it's burning.
But that's why people think it works, Tim. That's why people think it works. They take that shit and they get all flushed and their face is tingling and it's like, oh man, I'm ready to go tear some shit up in the gym now. And and it's all in your head. It's in your head. That marketing,
1,000%,
yes, marketing is in your head. They get in your head. They play with the concepts that roll around in your brain. They know the guys that go in the gym that want to take supplements. They want to boost their performance. They want to increase their ability to work out. They want to see gains. Everybody wants to see gains faster. If your goal is to make $100,000 a year, you're going to bust your ass to do everything you can to make $100,000 a year.
Right.
And going into the gym and building muscle or even just getting healthy, it's the same concept. If that's your goal, if that's what's driving you on a daily basis, you're going to do whatever you have to do, take whatever you have to take, any measures necessary to reach your goal.
They're feeding off emotion. They know you're thirsty for gains. You're excited for gains. You want to see progress. So you're willing to try things. And they're just pulling at your heartstrings almost a little bit.
Yeah.
By the way, with beta alanine, a lot of triathlon athletes and bicyclists and things of that nature, they actually use baking soda instead of beta alanine because baking soda will actually do a lot of the same benefits of beta alanine. But if you take too much, you'll crap your pants, John.
Yes, you will. Yes, indeed you will. But that's like there are a lot of people that don't take large amounts of creatine, but they'll use sodium because sodium has some of the same effects of pulling nutrients and moisture into the muscle. I've seen
actually, believe it or not.
Pardon?
Sodium as well. That's why I'm a big proponent of pink Himalayan salt.
Oh yes.
If you look at a lot of big power lifters, when they do a meet, they sodium load.
Oh yeah.
Because sodium actually, and electrolytes specifically, table salt is very different than pink Himalayan salt. People don't realize that.
Yep.
Sodium from table salt. Table salt is very bleached. It has additives, and it doesn't have all the electrolytes needed, whereas pink Himalayan salt does. So you have guys, big, successful, elite level power lifters. They sodium load because it acts like creatine as far as hydrating muscle cells, which is going to help with explosive strength, a lot of different things. So
yeah. And as they're working out and they are sweating and losing, the normal amount of electrolytes that most people lose through that process, it doesn't affect them as much because they've almost super compensated themselves with it. And that's like this stuff here. This has pink Himalayan salt in it. It's got a little orange flavoring, and and I drink that stuff all day long. That's what I drink.
Smart, man. Super smart.
Absolutely. Well, I follow a keto protocol, and in most cases, people on keto can get depleted of electrolytes relatively quickly. So pink Himalayan salt is my friend. I literally buy it by the big tub. I love it.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome. What's the name of your product?
the name of my ketone product?
Yeah.
It's just ketones. I don't know. Let's see if it'll focus in here.
Hey, there we go. Good, it's cool.
The name of the company is Ketocrin. It was originally started by the founder of the Dad Bod Transformation Group, Emil. He started it. He had a couple other supplements, I think, originally when he started it, and then he kind of revamped everything, and he just went to doing the ketones. And I'm going to tell you what, long before I got involved with the company, I was taking them myself. I was buying them from him, and I found the benefits myself. Anybody that's doing keto, the good thing about these is because the beta hydroxybutyrate is also, it's bound with calcium, potassium, and sodium. It helps to keep those electrolytes up, just like what we were talking about, you know.
So that's what I was kind of mentioning.
Yep. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I will say that I tried some other ketone products. I tried drinks and stuff like that. They were nowhere near as effective. You didn't get the electrolyte boost that you do from this particular product. So, and I'm not just saying that because it's my product. There are other products that are similar to this that other companies have. And if you're going to take them, make sure that you get something that has that extra boost in it of the electrolytes, because it definitely helps without a doubt. So now let me ask you.
John, let me mention something real quick.
Sure.
See, here's the thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
After talking with you, getting to know you, hearing about your success stories, knowing your history with lifting weights and stuff, mm-hmm. I would rather buy that product than any other product, because you're a lifter. If you designed a product that you pretty much know you're going to be taking yourself, you know it's going to be, freaking good.
Sure.
And so a lot of these CEOs that come out with these ketone products, they've never even been on a keto diet.
No,
they don't even lift. You know what I mean? So, dude, like, whoever's watching this, again, I'm not trying to product dump. Okay, I'm not trying to sell you. I am just saying, if you got a dude that is a veteran lifter, he's had great success in weightlifting, bodybuilding, and he's designed a product that he's taken himself, it's probably pretty freaking good compared to some of the other trash you see on the market.
Exactly.
I mean, I just need to get that, bro.
No, that's fine, because I was actually just getting ready to say the same thing about you. I have heard, because I know I haven't tried any of your products yet, but I know that Emil actually has, and he raves about it, man. He says it's great stuff. You know, and it's like, I will admit that for a lot of years I have been making my own pre-workout, but after the things that I've heard about your pre-workout, you can, I'm definitely going to be hitting you up for some of that, because I want to try it out, man. I'm all about getting that extra boost in the gym. And I agree, you know, you're going to have these companies, these supplement companies that are run by these corporations. These people don't give two shits about you. What you just said is true. Most of them have probably never stepped foot in a gym, and if they have, they probably haven't made it past the cardio equipment. Just You know,
that's why I have a tagline I say about my supplements. Made by a hardcore lifter for hardcore lifters.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's awesome. And dude, I just like the name Spasmatic, because that's kind of my mindset when I go in the gym. I mean, I kind of look like Grizzly Adams coming off the mountain anyway, but when I go to the gym, it's like, people don't even want to come anywhere near me. They look like, I've been told I look like I'm about ready to rip somebody's head off, because I just get in a mind space when I get in the gym where I'm like, I'm in there to tear some shit up. I'm not in there to socialize. I'm not in there to text while I'm waiting in between sets. I'm there to do damn work, you know? And it's funny because that, you know, your supplement line, Spasmatic Supplements, and then I watch your videos, dude, and the way you get your message across, not only about the supplements, but all the other things that you talk about as well. You know, it all goes hand in hand, and it falls perfectly in line. So I will say, you guys, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you've done a fantastic job at putting this brand together, as far as your personal brand. You know, as far as the way the supplements all integrate. And dude, the music, we need to talk about your music. You know, because I was like blown away. I figured when I first heard about you, when Emil first hit me up about having you on the show, I knew you did the supplement thing. Okay, I knew you did that, but I had no clue about the music. And then I got on your YouTube channel. Yeah, I got on your YouTube channel and started going through that stuff. And I spent 20 years as a DJ myself back in the day.
Did you
So
really? Wow,
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
man.
So I'm like a big fan of music, always have been. So why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about your music, what the genre is, and how you got involved in all that?
Yeah, dude, I really appreciate it. You know, man, music's very different, you know. As you can tell, and for those that have been watching my videos for the last 8 years, you know, I'm a very, 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 very creative person. Super creative. I've made many movies, I've directed stuff. Like, I've always been an extremely good writer. You know, I've just been a super, very, very creative person. And I've always wanted to do music, bro. And there's something really cool about music. You know, on YouTube, I'm caged. You know, there's only so much you can do on YouTube, but when you're making music, bro, like, the writing is there, the performance is there, and it literally allows me to use so much of my creative talent, and it's just amazing, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard to explain. It's like I have this innate desire to be super, super creative and to just impact the world and use that creativity to impact the world. And dude, music is just that perfect freaking outlet for me, bro, to like make these amazing lyrics, these amazing beats. And you know, I do concerts now. I opened up for Riff Raff, which is a pretty decent performer. And dude, I'm never gonna stop making music. So I love it, bro. I love it. My concerts are insane. So I really do 2 genres. All right,
Okay.
2 genres. Number 1, I do rap core. So for those of you that don't know what rapcore is basically, it's like, I almost want to say it's like Limp Bizkit 2020. All right, 2020.
Okay.
It's rap and metal combined, but it's more in the rap side kind of. It's almost like a metal singer is rapping to beats and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. It's very intense. Some of it's kind of dark. Some of it's kind of energetic, but it's not like typical hip hop.
Yeah.
I don't talk about guns and jewelry and it's hard to explain, bro. But it's very it's not super urban. I almost want to say, bro. But I'm screaming in some of it, but I'm rapping. It's hard to explain. So I do rapcore. Perfect genre for me, bro. It's very hardcore, right?
Yeah.
And the second thing I do is I do metal. So I am a metal solo artist. I already have a rap album out. I've got a couple rap songs that just came out, my rapcore songs. But now I'm working on my metal album. Metal album is definitely Limp Bizkit 2020. You know, I don't do screamo, I don't growl, but I do kind of scream and yell. But it's amazing. It's like 808s, it's like beats, guitars, but I'm like rapping and screaming. It's definitely a very interesting type of metal, man. But I love it, bro. I appreciate you bringing it up, man.
Oh, absolutely. Well, as I was going through your YouTube channel, I listened to a couple of the tracks, and I can guarantee you there's a few of them that are going to get put on my playlist at the gym because, you know, like I said, I just got done telling you my mindset when I'm walking the gym. So I'm listening to everything from Five Finger Death Punch to Super Joint Ritual, and I mean, you name it, I listen to it. And there's definitely a few tracks you got going on there that'll push me through some sets without a doubt.
Yeah, brother, it's good. I appreciate that, man. It's definitely good workout music, dude. I'm slowly releasing my new metal songs. When you hear these, I'm not trying to boast, but I will say, when you hear these metal songs, you'll be like, "What? This is interesting." It's it's very interesting, bro. And it's really hard to explain it. It's like hard metal with bass music, with vocals and rapping, and you'll be like, and it's like very hardcore. Like you'll hear it. It's dope. Super dope, dude.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. So now,
that, man.
So now let's talk a little more about your supplements. I mean, I have absolutely no problem, you know, promoting products. Absolutely, I'm all about it. what would you say are your biggest sellers as far as your supplement goes? And what kind of feedback are you getting from your customers?
Yeah, man, without sounding too much like a used car salesman, I would say,
Come on now, I know you got
you
a
know,
used car salesman voice. I know you do.
oh, bro, listen, I've been in sales for a very, very long time. I've been in sales for, oh my gosh, 20 something years, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm Italian. We have this innate,
Yep.
weird, I don't know, we're born talkers.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you what, for those of you watching this, there might be some people watching this that are jobless.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. If you can talk, if you can freaking talk, you can talk to people, you will
Mhm.
never, ever, ever be without a job, dude. I just
Nope.
wanted to get that out there. You'll
Mhm.
never be without a job. And
Yep.
I definitely been gifted by God, bro, to be able to freaking talk to people.
Yep.
I can sell a ketchup popsicle to a lady in white gloves on a 90-degree day, bro. What's weird is it just comes naturally to me. So
Right.
that's why I named my product Spasmatic, because it's my personality.
Mhm.
I'm a little obnoxious. Sometimes I just talk, bro, and I don't screen things. So very
Right.
high energy person. So Spasmatic pre-workout is, simply put, bro, I literally designed it to be the best pre-workout ever. Now, all of these companies say that. Every freaking company, Johnson, the best pre-workout ever, the most
Oh yeah.
explosive, it's the world's best.
Mhm.
Bull freaking crap, dude. When I'm in Spasmatic, listen, I just think of how much product knowledge I know of all the supplements out there, all the pre-workouts, and how plugged in I am into the supplement world. I made sure when I made this, it really was the best. Like, it had more crap, higher dosages than anybody else. I wanted to make sure. So when I came out with Spasmatic, I knew I automatically, after about a year, I see a lot of companies were starting to pick up on what I was doing.
Mhm.
So I said, all right, okay, you want to play games? So what I did is I reformulated it. And as nutty as Spasmatic is, I made it even crazier, bro. 30 scoops. You got, full transparency, 6 grams of citrulline per one scoop.
Mhm.
One scoop, bro. No one has that kind of crap. All the
Right.
ingredients in there, again, without sounding like a used car salesman. But my problem is, I don't sell it for very expensive. Why? Because I know bodybuilders we're all on a budget, right?
Sure.
If you don't have money, you better pick another sport, bro. This is a very expensive sport.
Oh yeah.
And so I made it very affordable. Unfortunately, when you have a super high quality product that cost me a lot of money
Mhm.
and I don't charge a lot for it, I don't I don't make a lot of margins on it. So
Right.
it's definitely a high stem, super powerful. Just look at the supplement facts and you can compare it to any pre-workout on the market. The dosages are just ridiculous. So also have Jurassic Pump, which is a stent-free nitric oxide booster.
Okay.
And John, you've been in this game for a while. You know I've been in this game for a while. We talked about sodium, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
what I developed is what I would say the first of its kind. It's a product that brings the sodium pump with the nitric oxide pump. And
Wow.
people don't understand, if you want to get freaking strong in the gym, if you want a freaking nasty pump, you want veins to pop out, you need what's called blood volumization.
Mhm.
And that's what pink Himalayan salt does. I have
Yeah.
2 grams of pink Himalayan salt per one scoop of my Jurassic Pump, and there's 30 scoops. And
Wow.
what it does, bro, it just literally volumizes your blood. It makes your blood, I almost want to say makes your blood thicker or has more content per per blood, if you will. And
Sure.
so when you mix that with the 6 grams of citrulline and all the other ingredients in there with the nitric oxide production, you find yourself with a pretty nasty pump. You've got
Mhm.
these really thick blood, if you will,
Mhm.
with wider veins.
Yeah.
And when that goes into your working muscles, dude, it's a great combo.
Yep. That sounds like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can
Yeah.
imagine the combination of the pink Himalayan salt the citrulline and everything else, and especially if you were to stack those two products together, the intercellular swelling would just be sick. It'd be absolutely sick.
It's
So I
disgusting, bro.
can definitely imagine there would be some pretty serious pumps, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's
I have
awesome.
a test booster as well. Thank you, man. I have a test booster. It's called Just Test Me. I dare you. I challenge anybody out there in this industry to take my Just Test Me, look at the supplement facts, and compare it to anybody else in the market right now. Anybody else. I have put so much crap in there. That product is so freaking expensive that even some of the leading brands out there of testosterone boosters, you would have to take 3 times their product just to equate to 1 serving of what I have in my Just Test Me. That's a good seller. And I got my aminos. I have an amino acid formula called Grow Pronto. And I appreciate you letting me talk about this big time, John. Grow Pronto is very different. Okay. It's a lot of amino acids on the market are extremely watered down, right? What I did is I put high dose branched chain amino acids, high dose essential amino acids, because if you really want to build muscle, you don't want to just take the BCAAs. You need the BCAAs, plus you want the EAA. So they're all mixed in there. Plus I threw in 500 milligrams of bromelain, which is a digestive enzyme that helps you break down protein. You can do your research. 500 milligrams would be, you would almost have to go to a store and buy your own bottle, of a singular, it's a ton of bromelain. And I also threw in prebiotic fiber. So basically there's an emphasis on muscle growth, and there's a big emphasis on breaking down your food, because we're always eating. Our bodies aren't designed to digest all this food. You need external digestive enzymes. And the prebiotic fiber, again, is going to help your immune system and your digestive system run at a high level. And that's my spiel, John.
Dude, okay. Well, it sounds to me like you got some pretty decent products there for sure. And definitely a couple of them I'm going to be trying out myself. So now, I guess the last thing that I want to talk to you about is because of your history in bodybuilding and your take on the whole thing, what would you consider to be the most hardcore bodybuilders of all time, and compare them to some of the guys that are considered to be hardcore now?
That's a fair question. When I think about hardcore bodybuilder, I think of Dorian Yates. You could probably agree, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So here's a man who, everyone thinks he had great genetics. He didn't. Dorian Yates had trash genetics. But his work ethic was just insane. I mean, you ever I'm sure you've seen Blood and Guts. When I was younger, I was obsessed with Dorian Yates. I know it sounds corny and it might even sound weird. Dude, listen, I had his books. Every time I would go to the gym, I would watch his video before I even went to the gym. That was like my prep. It was like my mental prep. I was obsessed with Dorian Yates. Super, super hardcore bodybuilder. Strong as crap. So what you're seeing now, bro, is the type of drugs pro bodybuilders are taking right now respond very, very well to very lightweight and very high reps. So they don't have to be as hardcore. They don't have to lift weights that are as heavy. They don't have to put in that nasty, grueling work like they did back in the day, because again, the drugs are on now. They just respond better to very light work. I mean, I've had a lot of exposure to pro bodybuilders. I'm in Tampa. We have a very big pro bodybuilder scene out here.
Oh yeah.
And you would see some of these guys, you'd be like, dude, these guys are weak. They're so weak. There's one bodybuilder I can think of now. He used to compete. He's passed away. I won't say his name, but you would look at him and be like, this dude is a monster. One of the weakest bodybuilders. I never like to speak ill of the dead, but I'm just using it as a descriptive explanation. One of the weakest bodybuilders you ever imagine, because all the crap they're on right now, bro, they're super weak, but However, to dive more in and dissect more into this question, the physiques are different.
Yeah.
The physiques are very, very, very different. You look at Dorian Yates, you look at some of these guys back then, like Ian Harrison, which I'm actually good friends with. I MC for his bodybuilding shows. You look at the guys back then, they had these super thick, super dense, and super grainy physiques, John.
Yeah.
Grainy. They just looked like steel, right? Now you look at these bodybuilders with insulin, okay? They're very round, they're very puffy. Almost every year for a while now, I do a Mr. Olympia review. I review all the physiques and blah blah blah. And you always hear a common theme when I say these things. Where are the striations? You don't see the striations anymore because the way the drugs they're on, they're eating 1,000 carbohydrates every day for like a week. Their bodies are blowing up, and they look soft, they look pillowy, they look bloated, and so the work ethic has changed, the drugs have changed, and because of that, the physiques have changed.
Yeah, I would agree. But now, out of all the bodybuilders that are currently competing or popular in the space, who would you consider to be the most hardcore bodybuilder now today?
That's actually competing, man. That's a really good question. There's not one I can think of that I would say that stands out as, that's a freaking hardcore bodybuilder. Ronnie Coleman, he doesn't compete anymore, but he was known for working each body part twice a week.
Yeah.
And super heavy weights. There's no one today I would say that, oh, you know what? That dude's a machine. He's known for his work ethic. He's known for being super, super hardcore. I really can't think of one person, to be honest with you. Who do you think? Let me ask that.
Yeah. If I had to say that competes, I would say Branch Warren. Branch Warren has that grainy look, and you see his workouts. He don't go in there and fucking play around. I mean, he goes in there and he does some shit. I mean, you watch some of the stuff. I've even seen some of the videos that have, and that they've done behind the scenes and whatnot, where he's like in there losing his shit, but he's just like, he kind of goes a little insane in there, and it kind of makes you wonder what he's taking for pre-workout. But I would say out of all of them that I've seen in recent years, I would say he's got to be the most hardcore, bodybuilder that's still training. And I guess what is his training partner? He also competes in the Olympics. Johnny Jackson, is that his name?
Johnny Jackson. I think both of them are retired.
Did they retire? So I missed last year's Olympia, so I didn't see whether or not Branch competed. But I just know he had that hardcore look. What you were talking about, the grainy and the striations. Yeah. I mean, you could literally connect the dots on him. He had so much grain.
He trained I would agree with you, man. Branch Warren and Johnny Jackson. Johnny Jackson, he competes in powerlifting and stuff like that. Definitely. And Branch Warren, I don't like the way he trains. The energy I love. When I go in the gym, listen, I want to get out of there and I want to look like I worked on a Mack truck. I want to scream and yell. I want to throw weights. I want to scare people. You said something like people are scared of you in the gym. I have a saying I say it all the time, bro. If you go to the gym and you aren't scaring people, you aren't training hard enough. So I love that. But his form, bro, like I don't know, bro. An injury just waiting to happen with some of the stuff he does, dude.
Like, I will say, seeing the way he does some of the things he does are a little scary to say the least. But but like I said, that would have to be my pick. Okay, I have one final question for you.
I don't think that.
Yeah, I have one final question for you, and it's a question that I ask everybody that comes on the show. Okay.
You can ask a million questions, brother.
Okay, well, all right. The question that I ask everybody that comes on the show, it's the question I ask last, is this. If you could change one thing about health and fitness on a global level, meaning that you could implement one thing, you could introduce an idea, whatever, that would change health and fitness on a global level for everybody, what would it be?
That's a really good question. If there's one thing I could change, one singular item or denominator that I could change, that I would implement that would change everything, I would almost say get rid of veganism. I'm not a big dude. I'm not a big proponent of veganism, dude. I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid, dude. I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid, bro.
No,
Not gonna drink it. I would say get rid of veganism, man. That would honestly probably be my. I'm pretty confident with that answer, bro.
and we'll get into that. We'll definitely get into that in another podcast. Me personally, I'm a big proponent, as I said before, of finding whatever diet works for you that's going to keep you healthy, and is something that you can sustain to. Because at the end of the day, if you can't sustain it, it's not going to do you a bit of good. It's like putting a Band-Aid on cancer. It's not going to work long term. So, I mean, if I have friends that are vegan and they've had tremendous success with it and they're healthy, and if that's their thing and it works for them, that's great. Me, yeah, give me like, it's like, it's nothing for me to eat a 16-ounce top sirloin steak and then 5 hours later sit down and eat a pound of pork loin. I mean, that's me. I'm carnivore / keto, so that's how I eat. But it works for me. It works for me. I'm a type 2 diabetic, so my body doesn't react very well to carbohydrates. Okay,
just sugars. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I eat carbohydrates? Yes, but I eat more things. I eat other things more than what I do carbohydrates because I know that my body doesn't handle them well. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
So
I will say this, not to interrupt you. I will say this. There would probably be one thing. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I got a little bit of time to think about it.
Sure.
I would say glorifying obesity is probably a big problem right now. So
it's huge.
More acceptance of obesity is, I'm not with it, bro. Saying that like you see these women, they're 400 pounds. To me, they look like they're on their deathbed, but to the sheeple of the world, oh no, let her embrace her beauty and oh, that's curves and that's thickness and no, that's called obesity.
Yep.
And John, a lot of people don't know my background, man. I used to actually be an ordained minister back in the day. So I used to go to the nursing home. And one of the things I used to do, man, is I used to go to nursing homes and I would go in people's rooms, right? Visit them and stuff like that. And the nursing homes are loaded with overweight women.
Sure.
Loaded with overweight women because obesity is linked to heart disease, and heart disease is I think it's like the #1 killer for women, bro. And so the more you're going to say, oh, it's okay to eat like trash, it's okay to be 100 pounds overweight, dude, you're enabling these people. And I think the death rate for women is just going to climb up. It's just going to climb up because they're like, oh, if everyone else accepts it, then who cares? I don't care about heart disease.
Right.
I'm not saying that's exactly how it is, but you know what I'm talking about, bro?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I'm a big proponent of, the whole body positive movement not being something that should be accepted in any way, shape, or form. The fact of the matter is this: obesity at this stage of the game in 2020, obesity is on the absolute verge of being a pandemic. It contributes to heart disease. It contributes to problems with your lungs, visceral fat in your midsection. Yes, type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes in and of itself, if you are predisposed to type 2 diabetes, if you're obese, it will bring it on. I was a type 2 diabetic. I went into a diabetic coma with my blood sugar over 500 back in 2007. And I lost 100 pounds in a year after that incident because that was a wake-up call for me. Playtime's over. It's time to get your ass to work.
Happened, bro? John, what happened?
I was literally, I was at work. I was working as a mechanic at that point in time. I was doing alignment on a car, and I literally just passed out. I got rushed to the hospital, and like 6 hours later, I woke up. the doctor looked at me. He said, look, it's real simple. You're diabetic. At very least, you're a type 2, but you may be type 1. We don't know yet. We still need to do more tests. You weigh 405 pounds. And the one thing we do know for sure is if you continue on the path that you're on right now, you'll be dead in a year. That's what he told me. And I'm standing there and my wife and my kids are standing over me crying. And I don't know what the hell's going on. So it was all brought on by the weight. After that night, I started to change how I ate. I didn't make drastic changes, but I started to change what I ate. And I gave up soda, dude. I mean, I used to drink Mountain Dew by the gallon. And I gave that up. Dang. Inside of a year, I lost 100. Yeah, I lost 100 pounds in a year. Now, fast forward to 2013, I had reached a point I was 239 pounds. And the doctor said, well, your A1C is a 4.2. You don't need to be on diabetic medicine anymore. So, and that's what got me into the whole bodybuilding thing, because I was like, okay, well, I need another goal. And it was suggested that I try bodybuilding. So that's what led me to there. And then as things progressed, then it got to be where, as I found myself being healthier and healthier, and I see more changes that I was making in myself, I became obsessed. I became obsessed. I know that I saved my life. I saved my own life by taking the steps that I took. So now I want to reach out and help everybody that I can do the exact same thing. So that's what led me to doing the Dad Bod podcasts and T2 Nutrition and everything else that's going on.
Dude, it's amazing. What a story.
Yep. Wow. But see, it all goes back to obesity. Exactly what you were saying. Obesity should not be accepted because it's a killer. It may not kill you today. It may not kill you tomorrow. But if you accept it and you revel in it, it's going to kill you at some point in time. And it has multiple weapons that it can use to do it.
Well,
yeah. Simple.
Blood pressure. I mean, it's all clogged arteries. Yeah, all that stuff, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not trying to die, bro.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, I'm figuring if I could, as long as I want to live to be 120, as long as I have a good quality of life. I actually said this on a live last week, and then I think I saw it reposted in the Facebook group like about 60 times in 2 days. When I'm 90 years old, I want to be able to wipe my own ass, Tim. That's what I want to do. I don't want to have to have a nurse do it for me. I don't want to have my wife do it for me.
Well, it depends on how hot she is, but no, I'm just kidding.
No, even especially if she's hot, I definitely don't want her wiping my ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very good point.
That's what my wife's for. She had to put up with all my bullshit anyway. So, there's just, we kind of accepted that. If I have to wipe her ass, I'll wipe her. She has to wipe mine. It is what it is. But if it's a hot nurse, I don't want her to wipe my ass. All right, buddy. Well, look, this has been an absolute phenomenal conversation. It has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you during this podcast. I look forward to trying your supplements. I look forward to getting to know you more, maybe doing some podcasts in T2 Nutrition and Wellness, and just seeing what happens. But before we go real quick, why don't you take a second and let everybody know where they can find you on social media and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely, man. You can find me at Tim Muriello on Instagram, TIMMURIELLO. You can find me on YouTube. Same thing, Tim Muriello. Facebook, same thing, Tim Muriello. My music's all over freaking anywhere. I'm doing Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, anywhere music streams, sold. Dude, please give me a listen. Playlist me, share me, all that stuff. And you can find all my supplements at spasmaticsupps.com. SPAZMATICSUPPS. Spasmaticsupps.com, bro. Check me out.
That's awesome. All right, brother. Well, look, we're going to go ahead and let you go. And again, I'll thank you for being on the show. Guys, if you got value out of this video at all, please make sure that you subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified when we drop new ones on the channel. Lots of stuff coming up in 2020. We've got some great ideas for some videos we're going to be doing here on the T2 Nutrition and Wellness YouTube channel. And of course, you guys know DadBod is the place to be on Facebook. If you're looking for motivation and support, we got 23,000 brothers strong and growing daily. So until I see you guys again, playtime's over. Get your ass to work.